Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I know it's kind of late. I'm getting a late start on this. So the Torah portion that we're going to read is called Shelach, which means send. So it's going to be, Torah portion is Numbers 13:1 through 15:41. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, "Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the people of Israel. Israel. From each tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, every one a chief among them." So Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran, according to the command of Yahuwah, all of them men who were heads of the people of Israel. And those were their names: from the tribe of Reuben, Shemua, the son of Zachor; from the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Hori; from the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh; from the tribe of Issachar, Igal, the son of Joseph; from the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, the son of Nun; Joshua. From the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Raphu. From the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, the son of Sodai. I'm totally butchering these names. From the tribe of Joseph, that is from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, the son of Susi. From the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali. From the tribe of Asher, Sithur, the son of Michael. From the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, the son of Vapshi. From the tribe of Gad, Guel, the son of Maki. These were the names of the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Joshua, the son of Nun. Called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Oh, okay, there we go. Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, "Go up into the Negeb, and go up into the hill country, and see what the land is, and whether the people who dwell in it are strong or weak, whether they are few or many, and whether the land that they dwell in is good or bad, and whether the cities that they dwell in are camps or strongholds, and whether the land is rich or poor, and whether there are trees in it or not. Be of good courage, and bring some of the fruit of the land." Now the time was the season of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Zin to Rehob, near Lebo Hamath. They went up into the Negeb, and came to Hebron. Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the descendants of Anak, were there. Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. And they came to the valley of Eshcol, and cut down from there a branch with a single cluster of grapes. And they carried it on a pole between two of them. They also brought some pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol, because of the cluster that the people of Israel cut down from there. At the end of 40 days they returned from spying out the land. They came to Moses and Aaron, and to all the congregation of the people of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. They brought back word to them and to all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him, "We came to the land to which you sent us. It flows with milk and honey, and that is its fruit. However, the people who dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are fortified, and very large, and besides we saw the descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the Negeb. The Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the hill country, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and along the Jordan. But Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, Let us go up at once and occupy it, for we are well able to overcome it. Then the men who had gone up with him said, We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we are. So they brought to the people of Israel a bad report of the land that they had spied out, saying, The land through which we have gone to spy it out is a land that devours its inhabitants. And all the people that we saw in it are of great height. And there we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come from the Nephilim. And we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them. Then all the congregation raised a loud cry, and the people wept that night. And all the people of Israel grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The whole congregation said to them, Would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would that we had died in this wilderness? Why is Yahuwah bringing us into this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and our little ones will become a prey. Would it not be better for us to go back to Egypt? And they said to one another, Let us choose a leader and go back to Egypt. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the people of Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had spied out the land, tore their clothes and said to all the congregation of the people of Israel, The land which we passed through to spy it out is an exceedingly good land. If Yahuwah delights in us, he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land that flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against Yahuwah, and do not fear the people of the land, for they are bread for us. Their protection is removed from them, and Yahuwah is with us. Do not fear them. Then all the congregation said to stone them and with stones. But the glory of Yahuwah appeared at the tent of meeting to all the people of Israel. And Yahuwah said to Moses, How long will these people despise me? And how long will they not believe in me? In spite of all the signs that I have done among them, I will strike them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and I will make of you a nation greater and mightier than they. But Moses said to Yahuwah, Then the Egyptians will hear of it, for you brought up this people in your might from among them, and they will tell the inhabitants of this land. They have heard that you, O Yahuwah, are in the midst of this people. For you, O Yahuwah, are seen face to face, and your cloud stands over them, and you go before them in a pillar of cloud by day, and in a pillar of fire by night. Now, if you kill this people as one man, then the nations who have heard your fame will say, It is because Yahuwah was not able to bring these people into the land that he swore to give them, that he has killed them in the wilderness. And now, please let the power of Yahuwah be great, as you have promised, saying, Yahuwah is slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love, forgiving iniquity. Who forgives iniquity here? And transgression. We're told this, right? In the Torah portion, who is the one who forgives you? Who is the one who atones you? Right here. You can't make this up. This is what the Torah says. So if anybody wants to sit there and say, no, it's the blood of Jesus, Yahushua Jesus, that atones us for our sins, you're calling Yahuwah a liar right here then. Because these are Yahuwah's words. So why are you going to dispute what he says? Who are you? Remember, you're just the clay. And if he says this, then you're going against him by claiming another person to be in his name. All right, this is right here. The sins are atoned for, and if you read in Proverbs 16, it tells you again in confirmation to match right here. Okay, so we're not making this up. It's right there in Yahuwah's words, our living instructions. So take it up with Yahuwah if you're going to sit there and say something different than what he is. Okay, so, but he will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children, to the third and fourth generation. Please pardon the iniquity of this people, according to the greatness of your steadfast love, just as you have forgiven these people from Egypt until now. But he's only going to forgive those ones who are walking in Yahuwah only. Remember that. He is very jealous. He doesn't want to share his glory with anyone else, let alone a son who claims to come in his name. That's where you're going to get some judgment if you read the book of Hosea. You read about us being the bride, right? Actually, no, we're the prostitute who goes and whores after another man, right? Maybe because we're told that he's our husband instead of Yahuwah. Think about that. Like, Hosea means salvation, but everybody wants to say it's Yahusha, Jesus. Because, Yahusha is just, Yah is salvation. That's not anybody's name. You're not making a clear distinction of a name. And if you are, you're linking it to Jesus. Because Jesus, what? Jesus he was hung on a tree, which goes against it goes against Leviticus, okay? And Leviticus, let's see. I know I have Leviticus on here. I just had it. This is going to be in... No, actually, I'm sorry. It was Deuteronomy. I was right. Jeez, I got so many scriptures going in my head. Deuteronomy 21, 22 through 23. We're going to get to this as soon as we get to that part of the Torah portion. It's coming. So it says, and if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but ye shall in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of Elohim, that your land be not defiled, which Yahuwah Elohim, Eloheika, gives you for an inheritance. Okay? What about Yahusha, Jesus? Right? He was hung on a tree. For what? For claiming to come in Yahuwah's name? Were these Pharisees really wrong to give him the punishment that he really deserved if he's going to claim to be Yahuwah's son, and Yahuwah doesn't say that he has a son who's going to die and come and atone you for your sins? Where does he say that? Where? I have yet to hear somebody tell me. They just want to give me a stupid opinion that is not anything related to a fact. So, moving on. Alright, so he says, please pardon the iniquity of this people. See, he wants us to come back to him. Right? Just because you give him, he gave us a divorce, right? He still wants us back. And you can't argue that. He's calling us back. He says we're going to be married to him. So, just read the book of Hosea. There's so much there. Okay, then Yahuwah said, I have pardoned according to your word. But truly as I live, and as all the earth shall be filled with the glory of Yahuwah, none of the men who have seen my glory and my signs that I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and yet have put me to the test these 10 times, and have not obeyed my voice, shall see the land that I swore to give to their fathers, and none of those who despise me shall see it, but my servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit, and has followed me fully. A different spirit, huh? I will bring into the land into which he went, and his descendants shall possess it. Now, since the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwell in the valleys, turn tomorrow and set off for the wilderness by the way to the Red Sea. And Yahuwah spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, How long shall this wicked congregation grumble against me? I have heard the grumblings of the people of Israel, which they grumble against me. So to them, as I live, declares Yahuwah, what you have said in my hearing, I will do to you. Your dead bodies shall fall in this wilderness, and of all your number, listed in the census from 20 years old and upward, who have grumbled against me. Now one shall come into the land where I swore that I would make you dwell, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. But your little ones, who you said would become a prey, I will bring in, and they shall know the land that you have rejected. But as for you, your dead bodies shall fall in this wilderness, and your children shall be shepherds in the wilderness 40 years, and shall suffer for your faithlessness, until the last of your dead bodies lie in the wilderness. According to the number of the days in which you spied out the land, 40 days, a year for each, you shall bear your iniquity 40 years, and you shall know my displeasure. See, and he had Ezekiel bear the iniquity of people too. Let's not forget that. Ezekiel 4. I, Yahuwah, have spoken. Surely this will I do to all this wicked congregation who are gathered together against me in this wilderness. They shall come to a full end, and there they shall die. And the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land, who returned and made all the congregation grumble against him by bringing up a bad report about the land, the men who brought up a bad report of the land died by the plague before Yahuwah. Of those men who went to spy out the land, only Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh remained alive. When Moses told these words to all the people of Israel, the people mourned greatly. And they rose early in the morning and went up to the heights of the hill country, saying, Here we are. We will go up to the place that Yahuwah has promised, for we have sinned. But Moses said, Why now are you transgressing the command of Yahuwah, when that will not succeed? Do not go up, for Yahuwah is not among you, lest you be struck down before your enemies. For there the Amalekites and the Canaanites are facing you, and you shall fall by the sword, because you have turned back from following Yahuwah. Yahuwah will not be with you. So you're not going to see it in Isaiah 8 if you don't come back to him. Because you have turned back from following Yahuwah. Yahuwah will not be with you. But they presumed to go up to the heights of the hill country, although neither the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah nor Moses departed out of the camp. Then the Amalekites and the Canaanites who lived in that hill country came down and defeated them and pursued them even to Hormah. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land you are to inhabit, which I am giving you, and you offer to Yahuwah from the herd or from the flock of flood, wow, I must be getting tired, a food offering, or a burnt offering, or a sacrifice to fulfill a vow, or as a freewill offering, or a year-appointed feast, to make a pleasing aroma to Yahuwah, then he who brings his offering shall offer to Yahuwah a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil. And you shall offer with the burnt offering, or for the sacrifice, 1/4 of a hin of wine for the drink offering for each lamb. Each lamb. Not one. Each lamb. There's more than one. Or for a ram you shall offer for a grain offering 2/10 of an ephah for fine flour, mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil. And for the drink offering you shall offer 1/3 of a hin of wine, a pleasing aroma to Yahuwah. And when you offer a bull as a burnt offering, or sacrifice to fulfill a vow for a peace offering to Yahuwah, then one shall offer with the bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with half a hin of oil. And ye shall offer the drink offering half a hin of wine as a food offering, a pleasing aroma to Yahuwah. Thus it shall be done for each bull or ram, or for each lamb or young goat. As many as you offer, so shall you do with each one, as many as there are. Every native Israelite shall do these things in this way, in offering a food offering with a pleasing aroma to Yahuwah. And a stranger is sojourning with you, or anyone is living permanently among you, and he wishes to offer a food offering with a pleasing aroma to Yahuwah, he shall do as you do. For the assembly there shall be one statute for you and for the stranger who sojourns with you, a statute forever throughout your generations. You and the sojourner shall be alike before Yahuwah. One law and one rule shall be for you and for the stranger who sojourns with you. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land to which I bring you, and when you eat of the bread of the land, you shall present a contribution to Yahuwah. Of the first of your dough, you shall present a loaf as a contribution, like a contribution from the threshing floor. So shall you present it. Some of the first of your dough you shall give to Yahuwah as a contribution throughout your generations. But if you sin unintentionally and do not observe all these commandments that Yahuwah has spoken to Moses, all that Yahuwah has commanded you by Moses from the day that Yahuwah gave commandment and onward throughout your generations, and if it was done unintentionally without the knowledge of the congregation, all the congregation shall offer one bull from the herd for a burnt offering, a pleasing aroma to Yahuwah, with his grain offering and his drink offering according to the rule, and one male goat for a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for all the congregation of the people of Israel, and they shall be forgiven, because it was a mistake, and they have brought their offering, a food offering, to Yahuwah, and their sin offering before Yahuwah for their mistake. And all the congregation of the people of Israel shall be forgiven, and the stranger who sojourns among them, because the whole population was involved in the mistake. Okay. If one person sins unintentionally, he shall offer a female goat, a year old, for a sin offering. See, you guys want to claim that there's a lamb that's offered, but this is clearly saying that it's a goat for unintentional sin. So this can't be the lamb that everybody claims as Yahusha Jesus, because it's not a lamb for sin, for one, and for a burnt offering it's not a lamb. So where really are you getting your information from? From just the New Testament. There's nothing that you're saying that the prophets or Yahuwah can back up. They don't. And so if that's the case, you gotta drop what you're been accustomed to, because there's lots of messianics that claim that they've come out of lies and stuff like that, but yeah, they're still worshiping a son that Yahuwah has no idea that he is claiming that he wants to atone us for our sins. Because Yahuwah is like, hey man, I tell you right here, we just read it in the Torah portion, that I atone your sins. And then we read in Proverbs 16 that, you know what I mean? And it's just, the more and more we read, it's more and more solidifying that, that the New Testament is just made up. It really is, because the prophets don't support it, and neither does Yahuwah. Okay. So, and the priest shall make atonement before Yahuwah for the person who makes a mistake, when he sins unintentionally, to make atonement for him, and he shall be forgiven. You shall have one law for him who does anything unintentionally, for him who is native among the people of Israel, and for the stranger who sojourns among them. But the person who does anything with a high hand, whether he is native or a sojourner, reviles Yahuwah, and that person shall be cut off from among his people, because he has despised the word of Yahuwah, and has broken his commandment. That person shall be utterly cut off. His iniquity shall be on him. See, our sin is on us. Because this very thing, because he has despised the word of Yahuwah, and has broken his commandment. What commandment? What commandment could it be that you broke? I don't know, maybe the first one. The first one, the most important one, you break every time you want to claim Yahushua Jesus. Because you don't give Yahuwah the glory. You say, oh, look what Jesus did in my life. Yeah, look what he did in your life. Right. You give the glory to Yahuwah, not some pagan deity. While the people of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation. They put him in custody because it had not been made clear what should be done to him. And Yahuwah said to Moses, the man shall be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones outside the camp. And all the congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him to death with stones, as Yahuwah commanded Moses. Yahuwah said to Moses, speak to the people of Israel and tell them to make tassels on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a cord of blue on the tassel of each corner. And it shall be a tassel for you to look at and remember all the commandments of Yahuwah, to do them, not to follow after your own heart, because you have a heart and a love for Yahushua Jesus. For what? When Yahuwah says your love is supposed to be for me, I'm your first love, what the heck are you doing? Right? I mean, it says it right here. What are you guilty of? Going against the first commandment. Okay. Alright, to do them, not to follow after your own heart and your own eyes, which you are inclined to whore after. Yeah. Whoring after Yahushua Jesus. There you go. So you shall remember and do all my commandments, and be holy to your God. I am Yahuwah your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Yahuwah your God. Alright. That was all of the Torah portion. We're going to do the Haftorah. And that is Joshua 2, 1 through 24. Whoops, I didn't want to read it. Huh. Where did it go? I just had it up. Okay, just bear with me a minute. Here we go. Okay, so this is gonna be 1 Samuel. Wait a minute, this is not the right one. Huh. I don't know what happened just now. This is not what we're... Technical difficulties. Okay, that's what happened. It refreshed. Darn it, Barbie. Okay, I need to fix that. Let me find it again. We're in Numbers. Shelach. Okay, here we go. Joshua 2. Okay, here we go. And it's chapter 1 through 24. Alright, and Joshua the son of Nun sent 2 men secretly to Shittim as spies, saying, "Go view the land, especially Jericho." And they went and came into the house of a prostitute, whose name was Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told to the king of Jericho, "Behold, men of Israel have come here but tonight to search out the land." Then the king of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, "Bring out the men who have come to you, who entered your house, for they have come to search out all the land." But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them, and she said, "True, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from. And when the gate was about to close at dark, the men went out. I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, for you will overtake them." But she had brought them up to the roof and hid them with the stalks of flax that she had laid in order on the roof. So the men pursued after them on the way to the Jordan as far as the fords. And the gate was shut as soon as the pursuers had gone out. Before the men lay down, she came up to them on the roof and said to the men, "I know that Yahuwah has given you the land, and that the fear of you has fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land melt away before you. For we have heard how Yahuwah dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you devoted to destruction. And as soon as we heard it, our hearts melted, and there was no spirit left in any man because of you. For Yahuwah your God, He is God in the heavens above and on earth beneath. Now then, please swear to me by Yahuwah that as I have dealt kindly with you, you also will deal kindly with my father's house, and give me a sure sign that you will save alive my father and my mother, my brothers and my sisters, and all who belong to them, and deliver our lives from death." And the men said to her, "Our life for yours, even to death. If you do not tell this business of ours, then when Yahuwah gives us the land, we will deal kindly and faithfully with you." Then she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was built into the city wall, so that she lived in the wall. And she said to them, "Go into the hills, of the pursuers will, and go into the hills, or the pursuers, that scared me, will encounter you, and hide there 3 days until the pursuers have returned. Then afterward you may go your way." The men said to her, "We will be guiltless with respect to this oath of yours that you have made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, you shall tie this scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and you shall gather into your house your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your father's household. Then if anyone goes out of the doors of your house into the street, his blood shall be on his own head, and we shall be guiltless. But if a hand is laid on anyone who is with you in the house, his blood shall be on our head. But if you tell this business of ours, then we shall be guiltless with respect to your oath that you have made us swear." And she said, "According to your words, so be it." Then she sent them away, and they departed. And she tied the scarlet cord in the window. They departed and went into the hills and remained there 3 days, until the pursuers returned. And the pursuers searched all along the way and found nothing. Then the 2 men returned. They came down from the hills and passed over and came to Joshua the son of Nun. And they told him all that had happened to him. All that had happened to them. And they said to Joshua, "Truly, Yahuwah has given all the land into our hands, and also all the inhabitants of the land melt away because of us." Okay. And that's all I'm going to read. I just do the Torah portion and the Haftorah portion. So, thank you guys for staying and listening to the Torah portion read. I hope it was edifying, and I hope that you guys got something from it, and that you maybe didn't see something that you saw now. That's always my hope, because we live in a time where Yahuwah is not playing around, and he wants his people to come back to him. And I don't know what it's going to take, an act of destruction in people's life, because Yahuwah says that that's what it's going to take. It's going to be the people who are they're the figs who are not ripened yet. I think that's what it is. There's a proverb, actually a parable, in the book of Jeremiah. Maybe we should, I won't go there now because it's already running kind of late, and we're already, running into close to 37 minutes, and I don't want to take everybody's night up. So, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.